Right now, Vermont's highest court is trying to decide whether or not a dog's love is worth the same love of a child or a person.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now, the reason why...
Bring it down, JR. Bring it down. I see the anger building. Okay, go ahead. How so?
This story is over the top. Okay, so Dennis and Sarah Scheel, they had a mixed dog, a mutt, and they actually allowed the dog to wander into someone else's lawn. Now, when the dog wandered into this man's property, he decided he wanted to shoo it away, so he shot at it.
Yeah, well, that'll shoo it away, right? Shot it through the heart, and the dog died at the vet's office.
Yes.
So
he claims
he
that...
says, scat. Ah, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this guy is so sketchy because he says, oh, I was just aiming for the ass. I mean, that's all I was doing.
Yeah, and happened to hit the heart.
Right.
He said it was a little pellet gun, to be fair, okay, or a pellet rifle, or whatever it is.
If it could penetrate the dog in the chest, it could penetrate the dog anywhere else.
Here's what I can guarantee you. The dog owners are not buying it.
Yeah, they're not buying it at all. I mean, first of all, the man who shot at the dog already pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of animal cruelty. He was given a year probation. He had to pay a $4,000 fine, and he was also given 100 hours of community service.
That's
so
pretty serious.
I think that's a harsh punishment, and not too harsh. I think that's about right, to be honest, right?
I agree with you.
But the Scheels don't feel like it's enough, okay? They want to sue for emotional distress. They want to be compensated for all of the vet bills and all the other costs that this man incurred. So they basically want to change the law. And they want the law to say that a pet's companionship is just as important as a human's companionship.
Oh, at least important enough to get damages for emotional distress. Okay, so if they lost their child, they would get damages for emotional distress. Now, the other side is saying, hey, wait a minute. Look, in Vermont, for example, you can't even get emotional distress damages if you're a grandparent. So now you're going to put a dog above, a grandchild, according to the law. That's crazy talk, right? Now, on the other hand, look, the dog owners, I mean, they're super mental about dogs. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But, I mean, the woman is a wreck. She
quit her job. Let me just tell you how over the top they are, okay? She quit her job, and now she's taking care of 6 other dogs that she adopted, dogs that are disabled and need help. She's dedicated her entire life to, helping these dogs or whatever. And then she created a website in honor of Shadow, which is the dog that was shot.
Yeah, and she says that, every day she thinks about him and his spirit and how he's not there anymore and he's like part of the family. Now, look, that's way over the top, okay? But some people do react that way.
Right.
And a lot of people feel like their dogs they're part of their family. So, I mean, that's why everybody came down like a ton of bricks on Michael Vick. So then you think, look, it's not the same as a baby. It's not the same as a grandchild. But it's not just an
end table.
Yeah, it's not just a piece of property either.
Right.
Because right now the law basically treats it like property. Now, I think that there's a fair middle ground here. I think that, eventually somebody could pass a law, whether it's, the legislature doing it, or maybe a court at a high enough level could interpret the law to say, hey, look, yes, there's some infliction of emotional distress here, because what if the guy had done it 100% on purpose? He didn't like their dog. He came in the middle of the night and slit its throat. Then you say, oh, no, sad day for you. It was just like he came and smashed your table. Here's $100 for the table. Here's $100 for the dog. That doesn't seem quite right. Now, he would have criminal penalties anyway, so keep that in mind. So, but you can't have it approach anywhere near a human. So if let's make up numbers. If you were going to get $1 million, if someone did that to your baby, I mean, how much for your dog? 1,000, but not 100,000. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's weird to put dollar value behind it, but understand that it's not an end table, and it's also not a human. So.
You know what, Barack? I like that middle ground.
Am I not the most reasonable man in America? Okay, I mean.